Hello, welcome to PaperDaisyJournals. It's Kylie. I have my last blue journal in my very drawn out blue collection. It wasn't meant to go this long, but life happens and you just have to go with it. But this is Felicity, and I am about to do a flip through of Felicity. Before I do though, I'm just going to let you know that I have gone back to selling my journals through Etsy. I had a lot of people contact me concerned that because they didn't have an Instagram account that they would not be able to purchase any of my journals. So I will shut my Instagram shop and I will go back to selling on Etsy. So I just thought I would let you know that in the start of this video, just so that you're sort of aware of what's going on. So Felicity will be available to purchase in my Etsy shop. Now back to Felicity. A cheerful name for a cheerful journal, and I have used some of my favorite fabrics with blues and pinks for the cover. I've patchworked those and used some slow stitching with a variegated thread to keep them all together. I've also used some of my favorite French trim. It's embroidered, and I have used that quite extensively all the way around the journal. So the patchworking, slow stitching, I can actually probably open it out so you can get an idea of the whole piece wrapped around. I have also used some beads on the spine, and to reinforce the journal I've double stitched around each panel, the front, the back and the spine. So Felicity is one of my bigger journals with 4 signatures, and I have really probably put too much in her. I just have, sometimes I just let it go. Let the flow happen, and I go with it. In light of that, I have not put any pockets on the inside covers of the journal. I have used a printable kit and some vintage wallpaper. I've also used some vintage wallpaper for some tags. So this lace I've sewn here and just at the bottom to keep it sort of delicate and loose. Big cluster at the top there, some of my favorite wallpaper. I will link this printable kit that I've used in the description below. I think I've used a couple, but one is the French Villa, and I have put one of my blue butterflies on this printed tag and slipped that obviously in a lace tuck spot. Original antique postcard with Mademoiselle, beautiful handwriting. It is from Christmas, but I just loved the blue in her dress, and it is winter here in Australia. I do have 2 jumpers on. It's 15 degrees and we are freezing. I also have a little heater in my craft room right next to me. I'm almost sitting on top of it. Totally wussing out, I know. Totally wussing out. It's just our climate though. I mean, we survive quite well in 35 degrees Celsius. I am talking in Celsius too, that's not Fahrenheit. 15 degrees Celsius, yes. Okay, now we've got that out of the way. All confessions done. I have done quite a few clusters with some vintage buttons. Here is sort of a weird thing I did. I machine stitched this trim at the top and the bottom, completely forgetting I'd already made a tuck spot. And I had looped that over the top. So it's sort of like a double tuck. And I've just put some vintage paper doily in there to keep it light, because I feel that that's quite heavy, almost like a belly band. And a collaged piece of ephemera there. This is a card from a tag, from the kit as well, and a cluster at the top there. Lots of those in this journal. This is a collaged, laminated little piece with some forget-me-nots, dried forget-me-nots. I actually had to order them from overseas because forget-me-nots would not survive in our climate here on the East Coast at all. But I have used them in this, in the collaged pieces. And a piece of lace. So this is only held on with a brad. If you wanted to take it off and use it elsewhere in the journal, you could. I have a collage tag here with a little fussy cut fabric flower. This is a page from one of the kits. I've just done some hand stitching at the top as a little feature. And I have another vintage glass button pinning on a little flower on the side there. A lot of my kits, because they're collaged, you can actually use the collaged elements as ephemera as well. A little ruffle. This is a vintage tally card. You could do a little bit of journaling in there. And another cluster with a glass milk button. I absolutely love this wallpaper. I got it from Emily's shop, Blue Linen Cottage. I will link her shop in the description. She doesn't have any more of it, which is why I've put it into a printable kit so that you can enjoy it. I have a piece on the wall of my craft room, and that's one of my favorite pages, and it's literally a printed page with a little cluster of things at the top. This is so cute. It looks like a little face sticking up over the pocket. That's one of my vintage doily tags, and a little collector's card with a butterfly. So a double pocket there. Another beautiful antique postcard with a gorgeous little bird. The back is almost as pretty as the front because it's embossed. And I just felt that that little birdie needed to go in this journal. I have used blue vintage ledger throughout. A couple of tags there. That's wallpaper and a collaged one. I just liked how they were sort of layered there in that pocket. Another one of my favorite pages. So a little snippet from a doily, a little bluebird on some of my favorite lace. And that's an image from one of my printable kits. I've done some little cross stitches at the top there just to hold that little piece of crochet on, and another of my button clusters. At the end of this ruffle, I have a beautiful vintage glass button dangling. I've got two of them, so they sort of make a little noise. Honestly, as I've been working on these journals, because I put these buttons on quite soon in the piece, they've been jingling the whole time, and the minute I try and make them jingle or make a sound, and they don't. It's so rude. I am going to try and explain this piece of ephemera. I don't have a set way of doing ephemera. I kind of just go with the flow and what is sort of sitting on my desk. So with this one, this is on tea-stained paper, so you can journal in the back. And I decided to start off with some of the vintage paper doily. And then I had this gorgeous French trade card for chocolate. And then I had a piece of fabric, and I thought, oh, that would look nice on there to sort of, for a bit of, you know, tactile to it. And she was sort of peeking out, and that's how that happened. So there you go. No rhyme or reason. And I thought it looked pretty, so I just I went with it. That is a printed image from the kit. Beautiful eyelet and some antique, that's handmade bobbin lace. It's just so pretty. And that is the other glass button I was trying to jingle together. Another collaged journaling card. Here's also another one, obviously a little bit eclectic, so a bit of fabric there, some printed page and some original pages and a little ruffle at the bottom, and I've just popped that under one of Tim Holtz's clips. Funny, these are funny. I like to use them, but they do leave a mark, which is okay. I like that grungy look. They're so tight, it's hard to get anything in them, but if you loosen them, then they're almost useless because they won't clip anything on. So it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny. This is another favorite page, little lace pocket here with a wallpaper and handmade fabric tag. I decided not to put a topper on, and a little button cluster. This is a printed piece from one of the kits, and I've just kept it as is because I cut out the scalloped edging, and I have some really beautiful petite antique French lace there. A piece of bobbin lace down the side, another collage tag. Oh, it's caught somewhere. I don't want to pull it. Oh, I see. We can work around that. So, little collage there with a random button. I just felt like it needed something cute and some more of that gorgeous trim. Another ruffle and some pages here. I do use printed pages, tea-stained pages, but also some original pages as well. I put some lace here, another little peekaboo above the top. This is another printed piece just tucked in there, and I just loved that. That was from a card, an antique postcard, and it had some staining, so I cut the image out, and I had a French document and a beautiful lace doily, and then I put her on the top and scanned it. And that's how I've made quite a lot of my printable kits are made from the physical items literally glued on top. This as well, so I have actually kept all of my physically made printable kits. They're like masterboards, but I don't think I'll ever cut them up to use them. This is actually a tag that I had glued on the side of this page, and I did the ruffle over the top, so it's sort of got layers, and you can definitely put some ephemera underneath there. I love these pins from Tim Holtz as well, so I've just pinned a beautiful piece of antique fabric on that page for some journaling underneath. Gorgeous original folded envelope from France that says Paris, and I just folded the edges in to give it sort of a little, I guess, butterfly feel to it, like a little ruffle, because there are a couple of butterflies throughout the journal. And here's one now. This is a printed piece of ephemera from one of the kits, and I've just popped some sari silk down the bottom so that it would sort of hang down. And initially I was sort of a little bit confused about why I had done this on this page, but I really like it now. So yeah, anyway. All confessions this time around. This was kind of fun. So I stitched this piece of raised lace onto this piece of beautiful French eyelet, and then I stitched it onto, or I held that on, I think I did. I often juggle with journals. I don't use as much glue as I probably should, but I've literally stitched a double pocket by stitching this lace on top of the eyelet. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Anyway, I have a collage tag at the back, a nice big tag, and that's sitting in that eyelet pocket. Hopefully it goes back in. And then I have a piece of ephemera from one of the kits sitting in sort of like a little tuck spot pocket and peeking out. And I just love the layers that that gives. And there's another gorgeous glass button with a little diamante set into it, and I've just pinned that on. Here is another collage tag with some more of that trim. and that's just tucked up there with some tulle. And here is another button cluster on the side. So yeah, quite a few sort of favorite pages I think in this journal. This pocket is a double pocket, so I folded up this piece of original ephemera from 1877, and I stitched on this quarter of a doily. So there's the pocket and there's the little front tuck spot as well, so it's a double one like this one here. That might be my new thing. It wasn't a happy accident, it was intentional, but I liked how it turned out. So yeah, double pockets there, and that is the back page. It looks collage, but that's just the printable kit, and I've just put some vintage wallpaper at the top, but very fluffy on the side and the top, and on the bottom there's always things going on all around the journals that I make. So hopefully you like Felicity. It was fun to make her. I'm going on to the next collection now. I have no idea what that will be because I had 8 piles of coordinated inspiration on my craft room floor. Now I have 7 piles. So my blue pile has gone. I think the next one's maybe going to be neutral colours. I'm not sure. But thank you for watching. I hope you are having a wonderful week. Bye.